Hello and welcome to Weblog Any Car with me, Sheridan. And today, I'm in an Alfa Romeo Spider. It's an Alfa Romeo Spider, the 916, so GTV Spider. And I'd like to talk to you guys about how these cars actually feel and how they drive. So if you were thinking of, getting a two-seater convertible car that you just want to take out, like a Sunday morning, Saturday morning early, have a little blast around or what have you, and then that's it. Take a look at one of these, because I think looking at it, I think the prices for these Spiders are kind of at rock bottom now, and I reckon that they are actually starting to go on the up. Now I appreciate everything with COVID and what have you has risen, but I've been tracking, looking on the internet, looking at the prices of the Spiders, and they do seem to be climbing. So I just thought I'd just put together a very quick video on how my Spider drives, the reasons why I like driving it, which is interesting because it parks up a lot and I don't use it, and then I drive it and I fall back in love with it every time. Now, I bought this car back in, I think it's 2006, and it has to be the longest car that I've ever owned. Let's go through the stats now. We're talking 2 litre 16V engine, around about 150 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in 8 and a bit seconds, top speed of around about 130 miles an hour. So the Alfa Romeo 916 was first introduced in 1996, styled by Pininfarina and Walter de Silva. It actually shares quite a few of the components and floor plan with the Fiat Tipo, but I'll rather say and the Alfa 155, because we know how much of a hit the Alfa 155 is. So you have different versions. When this came out, there were 2. So you had the standard version, non-Lusso, and then you had the Lusso. The non-Lusso had cloth seats, no air conditioning. The Lussos have leather seats, air conditioning. Both will have a manual roof. Now this is what I call the first phase 1 of the Alfa Romeo Spiders. So when you see them, they have a black strip that runs around the bottom of the car like the skirt. The later ones, they colour coded. I remember when I first bought this, I didn't used to like the dashboard because of the facelifted one with the silver. I preferred that. But as time's gone on, I'm actually liking this because it's kind of old school in that same era, which it was of the 155, 145, 146. Like true Alfa Romeo, all the dials are facing me. Temperature, clock, fuel, all for me. Speedo, it's all for me. The dials are pushed right in, white, yellow, and the red needles. It's just kind of, you're cocooned in. The driving position, now I appreciate, I'm not the tallest of people out there. I like the driving position because it is very, just negotiate myself out of this corner. Your feet are in front of you, the steering wheel's here, which is quite big. The floor dips down away from you, so your feet are kind of stretched out in front, which gives a bit of a racy kind of feel. I hope you can hear that. That is the windscreen, and it's really nice to be in a vehicle, in a car where you can touch the windscreen, because obviously with these new cars the windscreen's so far away. I remember I was driving and a car was coming towards me and I went to say thank you, go, yeah, cheers mate. I end up kind of like punching the windscreen because I was so close. I was like, oh, to do, a thumbs up. Things like that, which kind of get lost to a certain extent on newer cars. So I was going to get onto Scuttleshake, and there isn't that much scuttle shake, not as much as you would kind of think. But all the strengthening is basically in the floor. No rollover hoops as such. Strengthening is in the A-pillar here with the windscreen. The only time that the car becomes or feels unsettled is when, you know, you hit a real big bump, or the road surface is just rubbish. But if you can find a good stretch of road, I am telling you, you can have so much fun in an Alfa Spider. So with the multi-link rear suspension and the rubber bushes, there is an element of four-wheel steering coupled with a really quick steering rack. When it comes to, you know, going around a corner like this, you don't have to turn the steering wheel that much to get the car to turn in, and you get the sensation that you feel the back. It's passive, it's just a little bit. You just feel it coming round. But mind the potholes, the road is bumpy here, but it's just so direct. And that's what's kind of funny about this car, that around town it isn't particularly great. You know, if you've got to do a U-turn or anything like that, it's awful for doing that. Even going around little mini roundabouts, you know, you might have to apply reverse. But for A and B roads, you know, roads like this, it comes alive, which is what you want from a car like this, I do believe. Yes, there are some downsides. The suspension basically intrudes into the boot, so the boot space is small. But there is, you know, a shelf behind me. You know, you can put a suitcase in there, you take the roof down, put the roof back up. You can do things like that, you can work around it, but at the end of the day, for a vehicle when it's all about driving pleasure, getting up early in the morning like this, going for a drive, your driving shoes or driving trainers, whatever, just feel that the pedals and how the car is, I thoroughly recommend an Alfa Spider like this. Looking round, there aren't that many of the Phase 1's 916 Spiders around for sale, and obviously they're becoming more and more scarce. I've noticed a few on the internet which are spares and repairs, which hurts my heart to think of, you know, scrapping them. But there are people out there that are, you know, preserving them, so you can buy parts and service items for them. What I would do, I'd drop a link to the couple that I use for my service items and, you know, bits of trim bits or whatever that I need for this to keep this going. Now, it'd be great if there's any of you guys out there that are thinking about, you know, dipping your toe into owning a Spider. Those links may help you. And if you guys know of other companies out there that specialise in these GTVs and Spiders, then please put the links, you know, in the comments below to help everybody in the Alfa community, really. And obviously you've got the Alfa Romeo's Owners Club as well. The 2-litre twin spark engine, it holds its own. Except I'm not knocking the 3-litre V6, because if you haven't heard it, you need to hear one, drive one, then open the bonnet and just look at it. It's a work of art. But the 2-litre twin spark kind of gets, you know, overlooked because of how good that engine, how good the 3-litre engine is. But boy, seriously, you compare this to other sounding, see what I mean? Nobody's on the bridge. That's 40 miles an hour. Come on. It's just fun. And I think this is what this car is all about, which, for the money and fun factor, I don't know if there's a lot of vehicles out there that give you this kind of response, almost like well-being. And obviously, with most cars, with Alphas, it's a good idea to make sure everything is, you know, tip-top. Check your oil and water and what have you. You know, cam belt, 3 years, 4 years, whatever, depending on how much you're driving it. But for days like this, you know, it's end of summer now, but just getting out and having a drive, and it's pure. So I think I owe it to myself, I owe it to my old girl here, I think I should update the suspension components, brakes and what have you. I'm still going to keep this car standard, or as standard as I possibly can, because, you know, it's still got the original tape player, auto changer in the boot, standard Lusso, you know, the alloys. I haven't messed around with it in all the years. I used to have the facelifted front grille and badge, but I've taken it off and I've put the original one back on, because, as I said before, you don't see many of these phase ones around anymore. Come to the end of this short video on my Alfa Spider. If you've got any questions, comments, please put them down below. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it's been, you know, beneficial and helpful. If you're on your quest to find a Spider, as I always say, whatever you're driving, I hope it's really enjoyable. Stay safe, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye for now. Bye bye.